Hey everyone, today we're finishing up the notes on um, working with the future value formula. So, continuing from Tuesday, on Tuesday we talked about our new formula, this A equals P times 1 plus RT, and A was our future value, P was our principal, R was our rate, and T was our time. The difference from the formula we worked with Monday is that we took out the interest and replaced it instead with future value, which is the interest plus your principal, what you earned. So we started off with example 1, calculating out future value. And that was kind of just a plug and chug kind of equation where you had to identify what your principal was, your rate, and your time, plug those numbers in the calculator, it was going to give you the answer. Then we moved on to determining interest rate, and this is where we actually had to do a little bit of algebra work, where we had our future value, we had our principal, and we had our time, but we were missing our R. So when we plugged in these things, we couldn't just plug it in the calculator and find the answer because the piece that we wanted was actually in the middle of everything. So we had to do some algebraic steps to get the answer we wanted. Today we're kind of doing a similar thing, but it's actually almost a little bit easier. We're determining present value, which is also called the principal. So we still have those same values from the previous one. We still have our future value because we're told that we want to save $2,000 for a trip to Europe in 2 years. So that's going to end up being our future value right there. So our A for this will be 2,000. We're also told that it's going to be in 2 years, so that gives us our time as well, which normally we had listed last. So time is 2. Keep in mind that time is always listed in years. Our principal, or our present value, is what we're going to be depositing in this account, but we don't actually know how much we're going to be depositing, so we want to find out how much we're depositing to get $2,000 in 2 years. So that's our question mark. We don't know what that is. And they tell us our interest rate is 4%, so our R, I'm going to go and convert that 4% to a decimal, is going to be 0.04. So going to our equation, the equation that we were using was A equals P times 1 plus RT. So we're going to go and plug in those values as they fit. So here we have A, that's 2,000, so our future value is going to be $2,000. That's going to be equal to our principal, or our present value, that we don't actually know. So that's just going to be P in this case. Now inside the parentheses, we still have that 1 plus. It's always going to be there. And that's going to be multiplied, or going to be added to, the rate, which is 0.04, times our time of 2. Now, when we're solving algebraically, if the P were inside the parentheses, we'd start outside the parentheses like we did with interest rate. But in this case, we can actually start inside the parentheses because inside the parentheses, we have numbers that we can work with. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down the pieces that are not going to change. Our 2,000 isn't going to change. Our P is going to have something slightly changed about it, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it in front. Normally we put it behind this next piece. Inside the parentheses, we have 1 plus 0.04 times 2. So I can go ahead and actually plug this into the calculator. So let me turn on a light here and see if we can see this a little bit better. So if I do that 0.04 times 2, that's going to give me 0.08. And then if I add 1 to that, it's going to give me 1.08. So on this side, I'm going to have the P, but then back behind here, it's going to be multiplied by 1.08. Now, at this point, we still want to get the P by itself. We still want to get this P by itself. So we're going to take this 1.08 and we're going to do the opposite operation. And here it's being multiplied, so that means that we're going to end up dividing it. And when we divide 1.08 by 1.08, cancels out and becomes a 1, but in this case really it just leaves the P behind. And then we're also going to divide the 2,000 by 1.08. If we go ahead and plug that into our calculator, 2,000 divided by 1.08, that's going to give us a decimal of 1,851.85. Now, we're going to go ahead and round that down a little bit. So we're going to end up having a P, a present value of 1,851.85. And note that I did round that off. It is money, so you'll want to round to the hundredths place, or that cents that is there. If you have any questions, please get with me.